Messiah of Evil, written and directed by Willard Hewitt and Gloria Katz. Get your popcorn, join the circus. Remember, hit the like button and subscribe. Young woman named Arletty drives to a beach town in Point Dume, California to visit her estranged father that lives out there in a beachfront house. A gas station worker was telling Arletty some weird things been going on lately. He gets interrupted by a man with a piercing stare. He speaks direct.
$2, no knock.
And to the point. My man got Arletty shook up. The gas station worker starts pumping gas for the man. He looks in the back of the truck being nosy and sees dead bodies back there. Arletty tried to pay the guy, but he told her to get out of here. She dips and heads out to her dad's beachfront house. When she arrives, she notices it's dark. Nobody seems to be home. It's like it's abandoned. So she does like anybody's daughter would do. Breaks in the house, smashes the front door glass with a rock. Arletty looks around the house and calls for her dad, but nobody's home. She sees a diary on the bed and it's addressed to her. It tells her, don't go looking for me. So she does like anybody's daughter would do. She goes looking for him. She checks the gallery that her father's paintings were at. The gallery owner says she has never seen them, yet the gallery owner is blind, and the gallery's manager said she might be able to find them. They asked about your father, and they're staying at this motel. She heads to the motel and meets them, a guy named Tom, Charles, and two groupies. Charlie speaks about the blood moon and the dark stranger. Right before the blood moon, everybody in town turns into blood-thirsting monsters. The hoes don't want to hear that shit. They tell them to shut up, and they can't help out Arletty. On the way out, Charlie grabs Arletty and tells her about her father. He says he's one of them now.
You have to kill him.
You're crazy.
Can't bury him. Don't put him in the ground.
You gotta burn him. She's all pissed off and everything. She heads back to her father's house to relax for a bit. She hears noises and everything like there's somebody in the house. The closer she gets to the bathroom, she can hear it. It's Laura and Tony, the two groupie chicks, and Tom. They got kicked out of their motel. Arletty agrees to let them crash at the beach house for a bit. Arletty goes to her bedroom and reads the diary that her father left, talking about how this town takes over you and how you start going crazy. She keeps pacing back and forth around the room. Tom can hear her. He comes downstairs to reassure her that she's safe with him. Laura sees it. She came down to spy on Tom, catches them hugging up on each other. So she was like, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm about to bounce. She asked Tony, did she want to go? Tony said, nah, she's gonna stick around. So Laura walks off into the night, almost a full moon. She hitches a ride by a group of people that said that they were moon watching. She asked the driver, what was you guys doing tonight? He said, moon watching and grabbing rats. She said, why the rats? He said, cause they're tasty. You hungry? It creeps her out. She hops out the ride. She walks into the nearest Ralph's. It seems super dead. Ain't nobody in there. She's walking around. She starts seeing people. She sees them in the meat area. They over there eating raw meat and drinking the blood. They see her. They chase her down, catch her, and devour her. It's a full blood moon. And Tony is bored, so she goes out to a movie. It seems like nobody's at this theater, but quickly, people start showing up. But it's not people. The vampires start surrounding her, quietly, one by one. Tony can see blood coming out of their ears and eyes. She's like, yeah, I gotta get up out of here. With nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, Tony gets caught on the theater stage. Tom runs out to the theater to go get Tony. He is now aware of what happens during this blood moon. But right in front of the movie house, the police are shooting at all the vampires coming out. One of the police recognized his partner is now a vampire. He was bleeding through the eyes, so he shot him, and that did nothing to him. So he runs, but he doesn't get far because his vampire partner shoots him, wounding him, and left to get ate by the rest of the vampires coming out of the theater. Tom hurries back to Arletty. At this time, back at the beach house, Arletty is waking up from a nice slumber. She hears somebody, so she gets up and she looks at him, and it might be Tom. And the man is saying, "You should have never came back. I try to tell you, you should have never came back. This town takes you down." She's recognizing the voice slowly and realizes this is not Tom. It's her father. Her father turns around and tells her, "I try to warn you. You don't listen. Now I got to kill you." Remember the crazy man Charlie? He tried to warn her and told her, "There's one way to kill him. You got to burn him." She grabs some burning logs and just throws it at him, and he ignites, flames up, and burns to death. Tom gets back to the house and witnesses the carnage of the leftover burnt body of her father. He calls for Arletty, but she doesn't answer. He sees blood on the bed. Out of nowhere, she charges him with bloody scissors, stabbing him on the arm. He fights her off, throws her to the wall, and tells her, "Wake up. It's the blood moon that's messing with you." The blood moon awakens the rest of the town's people. They crash through the ceiling windows and break through the doors. Arletty runs for cover. Tom fights off one of the vampires and drags his body out for the rest to feast on, while him and Arletty make a run for it. And they run all the way to the ocean. They follow. They swim out all the way past the breakers. But Tom doesn't make it. He drowns. Arletty is captured by the townspeople. Instead of killing her, they let her free on one condition. She goes throughout California and spreads the word about this religious movement. And because of this, she gets locked up in an insane asylum. She has nightmares every night about the townspeople and the return of the Dark Stranger. The end. If you like movies like I do, join the circus. Remember, hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.